Hello, beautiful people. So here we go on day one. How exciting is this? I'm very excited because I love sharing all the things that I know. And there's also, well, there's so much more to know, isn't there? I'm learning all the time. So you are probably going to get a lot more dropped in this week than you probably thought. So let's start with day one. Now, the first thing I would love you to do is to really set your intention. This is so important with anything that we do. Really think about what it is you want to get out of this week, other than just saying, I want to know a bit more. If you set yourself an intention for taking action on what you're going to learn or what's going to show up for you, or more about what this is really about you, I want you to really hook into being your own healer. We can heal ourselves. We just have lost the ability to know which points to touch. Because believe me, you've got magical points all over your body, as well as these beautiful meridians that are coming up and down your body, and these beautiful chakras that are going in these wheels around your body. We've got energy flowing, but we just don't hook into it. And what I've noticed recently, which I'm quite fascinated about, is that a lot of people are talking about becoming more connected to their body. And when I first heard this, I was like, that's a bit of a weird thing to say. Who is not connected with their body? But I know a lot of people aren't. I think I'm particularly connected to, different parts of my body, and because I have done this for so long. And if I've got a pain or an ache or something that's going on, I'm like, got to be that meridian, or it's that meridian, or this meridian. What's going on? What's the message? Which chakra is it? What emotion is it bringing up for me? And this is what I want you to start questioning yourself, so that you get into this mode of, I know what that is. I know what the cause is. We want to know what the causes are. We want to know what the consequences are. And most of all, we want to know how to harmonize ourselves. So today, when we talk about the 5 elements, and this is a massive, massive humdinger of a topic, so we're not going to be covering too much. We're going to just get the tip of the iceberg with this. But I want you to actually start by understanding which is more of your dominant element. And once you discover which is your dominant element, you are going to learn so much more, and you're going to understand so much more about yourself. So this is what I'd like you to do today. I'm going to give you the emotional stress, the stress response for each of these elements, and whichever one you feel that you go into when you are in that state of like, what's going on? You're feeling overwhelmed, everything's getting on top of you, and you're just like throwing the toys out the pram, When you understand what that is, it's going to be like light bulbs going on, because you're going to understand yourself a lot more. But you're also going to understand other people, which is what we want. So this is our 5 elements chart, yeah? Now we are going to start off with the water. Now the water is the first element that we work with. The water element, now if you are very dominant in this element, your stress response is going to be fear and anxiety. That is what you're going to go into straight away. So just see if that's you. Wood. These two are so different. And these are the 2 we're going to be working with this week. The wood element, when they get stressed out, they get angry, they get frustrated, and they get like, So does that sound a bit like you? Fire. Now you notice we've got 4 different meridians in each of this one. We've got 2 and everything else, but 4 in here. Now the fire elements, these are so different again from the other 2. These are the life and souls of the party. You'll know people when you know a fire, you will know a fire, because they're the ones that are up and out, and then suddenly it's like, whew, the flames die down and they are like, ugh, gone into a lump of jelly. But when they get stressed out, they go into panic. They go into this panic because it's like, oh my God, I've said I'm going to do this and now I can't, I don't have the energy, that sort of thing. Is that you? Does that sound like you? Does that sound like someone else that you know? Now we come into the earthies, stomach and spleen, the earthies. The earthies, as you can imagine, are the calm, nurturing people. And when they get stressed out, because they are the ones that are always doing everything for everybody because they need to please everybody, a lot of healers are earth people, they go into worry. They will still be worrying about their son who's 25 and he's not back by 11 o'clock. They'll be sitting up thinking, oh my God, what's happened? You know, has this happened? Has that happened? Is he all right? That's a very earth response. This is me. I'm dominant in my earth. Now, I'm giving you the responses, remember, of when you feel out of balance, when you are stressed, when there's too much energy going into this. And what we want to be aware of is how can we bring ourselves back into balance, into harmony. So yeah, we might be a bit worried about them, but you know what? We know they're 25 and actually they're all right. Yeah? Calm down, come back into center. Look after yourself. Okay? Now, metal, these are the ones that obviously the last phase of this elemental cycle. Now, the metals are an interesting bunch of people as well. They are the people who actually go into sorrow and sadness. Didn't tell you all I'll tell you that in a minute. So sorrow and sadness, these people, they're the people who, they're the thinkers, yeah? They're the ones who are very deep in thought. They might sit on the periphery and look in, and then everyone else is chatting away and getting solutions, and now they've fixed everything and everything's sorted. And then the metal type will come in and just say, but you haven't thought about this. And that would be the missing link. So they go into this phase of, it's almost like we go into that metally stage as we go through the latter years of our life. And we're also wanting to let go of stuff. How many of you feel like that? Or you see your mum and dad or other people think, I just need to clean things out. Just need to get rid of things. And they can go into that feeling of like, oh God, have I done enough over my life? Am I sort of reflecting on what didn't happen, what I wish I'd done more of? So this is where the sorrow and the sadness can come into it. So what I'd like you to do is just feel into this. Are you someone who goes into anxiety and fear? Are you somebody who gets really angry and frustrated and resentful? Are you somebody who just goes into that panic? Are you someone who is just that born worrier? My mum was like this. I used to say to her, if you haven't got something in your worry pot, you'll find something to put in there. Or are you a metal person that's just sort of reflecting and looking back and thinking, oh, I wish I'd done more of this, or I wish I'd done that. And they're going into a bit more of the sorrow, the sadness. Now, we're going to be talking about the woods and the water element this week. I cannot possibly go into all of them because there's too much to tell. And I'd rather go over two. And I really think these two are very, very prominent in society. And you're going to understand it if you are one of those. And this is not to say, just let me remind you that we are all of the elements, yeah? We are all. We want to be 20% of all of them equally. But you'll have one that is throwing out the dominance in one, and then you'll probably have another two which are quite influential, just sort of sitting behind. Like I'm very much an earth. Naturally, I'm earth. But I'm actually got quite a lot of water and I can be very woody as well. Especially if I'm on my bike, I can be very woody. Very woody. It's like, get out of my way. Do not question me when I'm on the road. And certainly don't scream and shout and knock me off my bike because I'll be like, wah, 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 wah. That's very wood. Okay? So I'd like you to add into the group which element you think is your dominant, which ones you think are sort of coming up behind that dominant one. Can't wait to hear. And if you're totally confused, go with your gut feeling. Those emotions, those feelings, those stress responses are going to give you a massive big clue. Okay? So look forward to hearing about it, and I will see you later tonight where we'll talk more about all of this. All right? Have fun.